Hello learners, welcome to this session on the topic the structure of writing that is included in your second module of the course on creative writing. Today we will delve into one of the most important aspects of writing, that is understanding the concept of structure in language or the structural organization of a piece of text, and look at the different perspectives of the writing process. In the first video of this module, we have already discussed the importance of tone, structure, and choice of words, and pointed out how to maintain clarity, consistency, and appropriateness in writing. Apart from this, we have also familiarized with the use of idioms and expressions, punctuation, cohesion, and coherence. This video basically deals with the structure of writing, as the title suggests, and shall take up certain segments of writing for discussion, namely the cohesive structure of writing, the structure of paragraphs, the writing process of paragraphs, the structure of essays or articles, and editing. So let's begin with the first segment, the cohesive structure of writing. So language, whether spoken or written, it is organized at multiple levels. In spoken language, we produce specific sound patterns that adhere to a structured system, a domain explored within structural phonology. However, our focus here lies with the structure of the written language. To examine the structure of written language, we can analyze its features at various hierarchical levels, including morphemes, words, phrases, clauses, and sentences. So this approach, it will allow us to understand how these elements interact and contribute to the overall structure. So let us look at this diagram. At the base, we have morphemes, which are the smallest meaningful units of language. Consider the word unhappiness. It breaks down into un, then happy, and ness. So happy is a free morpheme, meaning it can stand alone, while un and ness, these are bound morphemes because they need to attach to free morphemes. So see in the example, unhappiness, that is un plus happy plus ness, or in case of books we see book plus s. So from morphemes we construct words which combine to form phrases. So phrases expand around a central element like a noun. For example, all the tall trees in the forest. So phrases lead to clauses which are built using functional components like subject, verb, object, complement, and adverbial. Finally, clauses combine to create sentences. That is the backbone of all written text. For example, we see in the sentences like he walks or they walk. So we see these are the examples of morphemes, phrases, clauses, and sentences. Thus, from this concept of the morpheme, we proceed to the concept of the word. From word, we then proceed to the phrase. And from phrase, we proceed to the concept of the clause and then to the sentence. The sentence is obviously a structured entity. It is made up of words, phrases, and clauses, and it follows a definite structure. The words that form the sentences belong to different classes or parts of speech, which have its own functions. So there must be grammatical links between words in a sentence structure. These links are signaled by concord or agreement. The term concord refers to a type of grammatical relationship between two or more elements in a sentence, in which both or all elements show a particular feature. For example, the English third person singular noun or subject occurs with a singular verb and plural noun or subject occurs with a plural verb. For example, we see in this example below, he walks, which is singular verb, and they walk, that is plural verb. We can see this as examples of concord or agreement. From the level of sentence, we now proceed to the next higher level in the hierarchy of language structure, that is the text. So what is a text? We can describe a text as a piece of spoken or written language performing a communicative function. Take the example of these words, no smoking. So it is also a text because it performs a communicative function. So let us use the word text as synonymous with paragraphs or essays in the sense that they are units larger than the sentence. In the sections that follow, we shall analyze the structure of the paragraph and the essay as examples of the structure of writing. So now look at the following texts and say what communicative functions do these texts perform. So now let's come to the section that is cohesion in writing. In creative writing, we are required to write compositions that are larger than a sentence, say a story or a poem or even a larger piece of creative text, and so on. And it is here where comes the importance of cohesion. A cohesive text is one where sentences and ideas are logically connected. So sentences in the text display some kind of mutual dependence. They do not occur at random. They occur as a cohesive piece of text showing an interrelationship between each sentence. And as writers, our primary concern should be to ensure that there is a cohesion among the sentences in a piece of text. So, these are some of the methods to achieve cohesion. By using overt connectives. So words like quote unquote and, but, however, all these link ideas explicitly. We have already discussed this concept in the first video of this module. So next is co-reference. This involves referencing earlier or later parts of the text. For example, the poor couple were living laboriously. Their struggles were immense. So here we see it involves referring to the poor couple when we say their struggles. The next is substitution. The replacement of a word or a phrase that is used previously with another without affecting the meaning is called substitution. For example, he bought a shirt from West Side. His friend bought one too. So when we say his friend bought one too, that one refers to a shirt. So this is an example of substitution. Next one is ellipsis. So in ellipsis, we omit repetitive information when the context makes it clear. Take the example like, where did you meet Mr. Singh? At a conference in Kerala. So here we do not repeat that I met Mr. Singh at a conference in Kerala. We just simply say like at a conference in Kerala. So we omit this repetitive information like what do we like when we say where did you meet Mr. Singh. So we don't say the full sentence, like we do not say we met Mr. Singh at a conference or I met. So we just simply say at a conference in Kerala. So repetition is reinforce ideas by repeating key terms. For example, Sachin Tendulkar, after completing his 43rd century, helped India to draw the first test against Sri Lanka. Tendulkar also became the first cricketer to cross 30,000 runs in international cricket. So here we see repetition. It reinforces the key terms. That is, here our key idea is Sachin Tendulkar. So we have repeated Tendulkar again in the second line. So lexical relationships. It is like use related words to connect sentences. For example, the food in the reception was excellent. I especially liked the chicken Manchurian. So here we see that we are talking about the chicken Manchurian that was being served in the reception. So this is an example of lexical relationship. Next one we see it's comparison. It's a device to highlight relationships by comparing ideas. For example, this road is bad, but that one is worse. So here we see an example of comparison. So by now we have got an idea about the concept of structure in language. From morpheme, the smallest meaningful entity, to the highest form, that is the sentence. We have also discussed the means through which cohesion can be achieved. Now let us come to an important segment, that is the structure of paragraphs. A paragraph is the unit that is larger than the sentence. It is a group of sentences united by a central idea. A well-structured paragraph has three qualities: a central controlling idea, adequate development, and coherent connections. So the central controlling idea is often contained in a single sentence, commonly which we refer to as topic sentence. And governing the content and the development of the paragraph, the topic sentence, it sets the stage for every sentence and every detail used in the paragraph to support the central idea. And next is adequate development. So once we have a central controlling idea for a paragraph, we must say enough about the idea to put it across to our readers. And when we say coherent connection, we mean a paragraph is coherent when the relationships between parts are clear, smooth, and logical. The reader must be able to move easily from one sentence to the next and from one idea to the next, seeing their connection to one another and also to the paragraph's central idea. So there are two commonly used ways to achieve this smooth flow of thought, that are cohesion and coherence. We have already discussed in details about these two concepts in the first video of this module. Now that we are aware of the structure of paragraphs, the next important thing is to focus on the process of writing one. In this section, we shall try to comprehend and identify some of the ways which can uplift the writing process and bring the desired output. So in order to write a paragraph, a writer has to go through several steps, and each step bringing him closer to a finished paragraph. All these steps taken together constitute the writing process for paragraphs. Let us discuss the steps one by one. The first step is pre-writing. Now, what is pre-writing? So before writing, you would like to ask yourself the following two questions. What is it that you want to say? And who will read this? That is, you must think about the topic or the theme you want to write and decide what exactly you want to say. So you are most likely to have something interesting to say if you already know something about the topic. It is helpful to focus on a single idea that you can cover in a paragraph. The second important step, it is to write our topic sentence. The main part of our paragraph is the main idea we want to get across about our topic. Right. So that definitely must be one that interests you, one that you can show, explain or prove, and one that is limited to one idea. So after writing your topic sentence, the third step is to support your main point. How can we do or achieve this? By giving details or with facts that show, explain or prove our main point. They usually follow the topic sentence and make up the body of the paragraph. Now, fourth important step is the logical arrangement of ideas. This means we have to present our ideas in a logical order by focusing on what comes first, what will come next, and so on. So this is important because if we fail to put our points in a logical order, the paragraph will not be coherent. So the last and the most important step is to revise the paragraph. Revising and editing are two different ways to improve our writing. Revising is changing the ideas in your writing to make it clearer, stronger, and more convincing. So when revising, we may add, delete or modify whole sentences. Editing is different in the sense that it is finding and correcting problems with grammar, style, usage or punctuation. While editing, we usually cut, add or change words and phrases to ensure cohesion of the passage and any other feature of writing that needs to be stressed. Let us now come to the segment in which we shall discuss the structure of essays and articles. So an essay is a larger composition made up of multiple paragraphs. It is a piece of composition or writing with more than one paragraph. The parts of an essay correspond to the part of a paragraph. Just as a paragraph has a central controlling idea or topic sentence to which each sentence contributes, so an essay also contains a controlling idea to which each paragraph contributes. The difference between a paragraph and an essay or an article may be just one of size. When we talk about the structure of an essay or an article, these points must be noted. Number 1, introduction. It will be good to think of our introductory paragraph as a marketing challenge. A good introduction must aim to catch the reader's attention, present the controlling idea of the essay, and give the readers a clear idea of what the essay will cover. These examples will show how an essay should begin in its introduction. When we study the opening sentences of these well-known authors, we can see how these authors have tried to interest the readers. Regarding the structure of essays or articles, after introduction, the focus should be placed on the transition between paragraphs. So transition between paragraphs is made in the same methods as links are made within paragraphs. Here, however, you are connecting the immediate paragraph with the one before or after, with other paragraphs and within the structure of the whole composition. Thus, cohesion and coherence are the two most important elements that helps to achieve a smooth transition between paragraphs, as we have already noted. And the third important component is conclusion. So while writing an essay, an article, or any composition, a conclusion is an indispensable part. The function of the conclusion is to drive the main point home one final time. So a good conclusion has these features. It should refer back to the main point. It should sum up what has been covered in the essay. It should make a further observation or point. In short, it should give a sense of completion to the piece of writing. The final segment of this video is editing. We have looked at the structure of the paragraph and discussed the structure of the essay. We tried to see how writing is structured into a cohesive and coherent piece of writing. This section focuses on the last step in the process of writing, which is editing. In editing, we make sure that our ideas are expressed correctly and well. We find and correct problems with grammar, style, usage, punctuation, and mechanics. We may, at this point, like to revise, amend, or rephrase certain words, phrases, and sentences. The foremost principle of editing is to make the passage readable. To sum up, writing is both an art and a science. Understanding the structure and cohesion of our writing is the first step towards crafting compelling and effective texts. Thank you for joining me in this session. See you in the next video, where we will explore creative techniques to enhance our writing further.